How are things, Vector?
Agent, when we communed with the other nests, we saw a force for change in the galaxy. There are Killiks as large as starships and as small as mites, joiners from 100 species on 1,000 worlds. We mean to report on the Killik colony to the diplomatic service.
Not even a smile for me. You are focused today.
We are. Still, it's you who inspires us. If the service can make entreaties to the colony, if we make them an ally, we'll have a foothold in the unknown regions. We'd have access to Killik craftsmanship, joiner information. Even without their military support, they would be invaluable.
What would an Imperial Killik alliance take?
We've outlined a proposal. The Killiks want peace and resources, and the Empire can offer both. And if the Empire doesn't make allies of the Killiks, someone else may get to them first.
However I can assist, say the word.
We'd ask you to sign off on the report. Other than that, we'll keep your offer in mind. Thank you. Agent, we heard back from the diplomatic service about our proposed alliance with the Killik colony. Our report was soundly ignored. It seems we have less credibility than we thought.
You worked for them for years, and this is what you get.
We are twice compromised, no longer human, and no longer a diplomat. A colleague named Fulner S. sent the update on our report along with a message. He wants us to call him, accompanied by our handler. We believe he means you.
Put him through. We'll see what he wants.
Master Hyllus, I'm so glad you got my message. How are you? How's Anya?
Anora. We haven't seen her in some time, but we hear she's well. And your son?
I'm stationed on Balmora, still hoping to join the Shadow Fist. And you must be Cipher 9. It's my privilege to meet you. Rest assured, I went through channels to arrange this. Imperial intelligence has agreed to loan me Vector so long as you're amenable.
Vector contacted you about a Killik alliance. Why would you need him?
My superiors don't see the wisdom in Vector's advice. I do. Yet I lack the authority to force the issue.
Someone is blocking you?
Tarab, Sabini, the usual crew. If I'm to win them over, I need influence. Vector, with your ties from the service and the colony's knowledge, I could amass a string of victories. And the more I succeed through your consultations, the better chance your Killik Imperial alliance comes to pass.
What's your take on all this?
He wants us to play politics, but that is how things are accomplished.
Perceptive man. I'll be in touch with specifics.
We appreciate your aid and your patience, Agent. We're doing this to serve our people. We don't mean to neglect your company.
Tell you what, next chance we have to slip away, we'll find a planet all to ourselves.
We'll hold you to that. Agent, you recall we spoke to the diplomatic service about building an alliance between Empire and Killiks? Fulner Eth, the man who offered his backing in return for our assistance, has asked us for his first favor.
You can't tell me you don't have doubts about him.
Of course we do. But we don't have another option. Fulner wants our notes on various families and unaligned worlds in the Questal sector. He means to bring that sector into the Empire. We worked in Questal a long while, and we knew its people well. It's odd to see someone else take the reins.
You don't talk about your old life.
We don't often have a reason to think about it. We do miss negotiating, reaching out to understand people, synthesizing their needs. Dizana of the Lesai Nest says that desire makes us a better joiner. It's only small comfort.
I remember her. I didn't know you two were in contact.
Through the unseen emissaries that travel with us, we hear her voice from time to time. But that isn't relevant now. We'll give Fulner what he wants, for the sake of the Empire and the colony.
You wanted something, Vector?
We do not neglect our duties. We are Dawn Herald. We do this for the Nest. Agent, we've had another request from Fulner Eth, our ally inside the diplomatic service. We need to take a short leave.
I heard you talking to the emissaries of the Nest. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. The distance from our kin is unusual and causes rifts. Fulner's stock is rising, but he needs further acclaim before he can push for a Killik Imperial alliance. He's asked us to visit a former Republic governor named Yogana Thanoth and win his cooperation by turning him into a joiner.
So you're supposed to strip a man of his individuality and make him part of the Nest?
We'd hoped Fulner wanted us for our diplomatic skills, not for this. The joining should be a gift, but we will find a way.
You know this isn't right. Don't do it, Vector.
We appreciate your concern. We ask that you trust our decision.
You're back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Fulner Eth.
My friends, it's been too long.
Fulner, we assume you've heard from Thanoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
You haven't lost your touch as a diplomat after all.
Not entirely, no.
You kept your promise. Thanoth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Fulner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
He's a brave man, and a loyal Imperial.
You can't be serious. Those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Listen, Fulner Eth is keeping his deal, but he's repulsed by Killiks. We can't trust him.
He admits it? We always did get an odd sense from him. It's out of his hands now, though. We should watch him, but we'll be focused on the future. Agent, we received a small gift from the diplomatic service in appreciation of our work with the Killiks. A package of wine, meat, and breadfruit, all imported from the colony worlds. Not inexpensive, and a bit extravagant during wartime.
Aren't extravagant gifts part of the diplomatic process?
Maybe, but we'd rather they treated us as one of their own, not as a foreigner to be won over. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself. We may as well enjoy the taste of progress. In any case, we should get back to work. We promised Kalia we'd keep the hatchlings away from her quarters, which means some training is in order.
Leo hasn't said much about you. Everything going all right?
After some early missteps, we're learning to tolerate one another. We no longer invite her to Dajaric games. She no longer spits in our tea. Give us a few months. We've negotiated with worse. Agent, there's something we want you to know. Our obsession lately has been with the colony and the diplomatic service. We're sure you've noticed that we've been distant.
You've had a lot on your mind, and I've had an empire to save. Not a lot of time for bonding.
And at least we're using our time productively. Regardless, we're finished repairing ourselves. We found the part of our mind that understood humanity, and we're relearning how to use it. We couldn't have done this without you. And we don't want to be distant anymore.
Maybe you should make sure I'm convinced. I do have other options.
As you like. What will be the next verse of our song?
Have you really forgotten what comes next?
We haven't relearned everything, but we'll work on it.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Don Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
Is there something going on between you and that joiner?
Dizana is a nestmate, and we value her. But she isn't you.
You were saying something about a treaty.
We're in touch with the diplomatic service as well. There's still resistance, but we're progressing. Hyllus and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cast and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Hyllus did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
It can be difficult to be reminded of your past.
Can it? We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content.